Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are playing Chtistmas Adventure Candy Storm. This game starts asking your name. Now I've played quite a few hidden object games, that's what this is, and they all seem to be on the same engine, and the engine always wants to know your name and then never does anything with it. I have no real reason for that. Like, it seems like I should complain about that, but on the other hand, maybe it would be better if all games with save files did something like that. So you actually had to properly label your save files under a creator's name. Let's see, as far as options, let's see, I guess we could go widescreen. No, that looks worse. That is the opposite of widescreen. We could turn off this fancy cursor. And I don't see any reason to do that. So, we're good to go. Ooh, animation. A lot of these are weird about voice acting, animation. Little extras you just wouldn't expect, considering it's a really simplistic hidden object games. There's a lot of them on Steam. I wouldn't go as far as to say they are actually fake games, but they are typically low effort games that would work better on a cell phone game, a cell phone platform versus a PC. Let's go ahead and do the tutorial just to see what it's like. You'll meet some characters in this game that will tell or give you something. Click on the spirit to trigger dialogue. Close the dialogue to continue the game. Click on the dialogue window. And I can barely read that. Hello, I'm Scepter, the good spirit. Your car has been changed due to the witchcraft of the three old sisters. Go to the house, knock on the door, and they'll open it. Pay attention to the game cursor, which may change to a hand, gears, or magnifying glass. Move the cursor over the dry branch, and notice it changes to a hand, which means you can take the branch. So, a lot of these hidden object games aren't pure hidden object games. They're also kind of adventure games. It's a odd mix, but it seems like there's some consistency in these styles of games. And I suspect that's because there's only 4 or 5 people actually making all of these games, and they're kind of flooding Steam with them. But they're not so low quality that I think people really complain. They're cheap, they give you achievements, trading cards, whatever money laundering scheme might be associated with trading cards and achievements. Seems not to be that big of an issue or that prevalent. If your cursor changes to gears, that means you can apply an object here. In this case, retrieve the round handle using the dry branch. Here we've got motion all over the screen and way too many things. Congratulations, you've acquired a useful item, the handle. Now move the handle from the inventory to the hinge in order to attach it and use it. Don't forget to click on the handle to knock on the door. So, I imagine you would have needed to do all this without the tutorial. When you see sparkles around an area, that means hidden object scenes have been activated. Click on the area to start your search. When pointing over an area, your cursor will change to a directional pointer as seen when transitioning to another location. Interesting. Two types of pointers. The key objective is to find all 12 items from the list in the lower part of the screen. You'll be rewarded only after you find all the items. Alright. So, I'm playing this in December, clearly, because this is Christmas themed. There's a strangely small amount of Christmas themed games in Steam. I think that's probably because younger kids who are gifted games versus adults who can buy their own games are usually given the top 4 to 6 games that are the ones they really wanted that year for Christmas. They're not given Christmas themed things that don't really matter. There's no such thing, I suppose, in the mind of parents right now as a stocking stuffer game or a Steam stuffer game. It might be a good phrase to coin, because this almost certainly was less than $2 to buy this, and it'll probably be fine. And we're getting some, I believe that's the Nutcracker Suite, so I wouldn't be surprised actually if somebody claims ownership of that song too. Some of the most famous songs get claimed by people who don't own it on YouTube all the time. So we're looking for a scarf, a lemon, a hat, alarm clock, glove, clock, or rooster. Maybe a translation here. Candy, gold pine cone, the letter N, shovel, bow, and sock. That's the first time I've ever seen a translation error that bad. There's a sock. A nice little animation here. I do have to admit, this hidden object engine that everybody uses actually is probably better than some of the other engines that professional games do. Of course, the professional AAA games often are trying to do a lot more, so there's less to have to worry about. But here's the letter N. I have seen some clunky physics and bad implementations on some other engines, whereas this hidden object things, and here we have a dog. Let's see, we're looking for a candy. Is this a gold pine cone? No. No, this is a gold pine cone. This would be at best a gold pine tree. Let's see. Here's a glove. Here's a hat. But apparently not. Here's a scarf. These are so easy to make because you just have to have a background image. Pay one artist to draw a background image and then create some Photoshop layers with other items. However, in this instance, because there's motion and there's snow falling in front of us, this is a very much a live scene. Arguably, maybe some people wouldn't like that, but I actually think it's pretty good. I suppose this hat isn't the hat we're looking for again. Notice there's a hat here, a hat here, a hat here, and only one of them was the hat they were talking about. Let's see. Candy. This is probably candy here, but if you get too close, it seems like it wants you to, you're gonna exit out. Lemon. Here's a lemon. I don't know what's so Christmassy about a lemon, but that might be just something that's not well known in the United States. Here's candy. And here's a shovel. And yet that's not the shovel they want. And we have an alarm clock. And I assume we're still looking for a rooster. This looks like something, but I think, oh yes, here it is. Here's your rooster. Colloquially known as a cock in Old English, and nobody would call it these days that, even though it's wrong. And so this snowman's a hint. I thought that was part of the picture. I've not had to make this criticism about any other hidden object game so far, but there are some flaws here. And they're a lot bigger and more common than what I've seen in other games. And the flaw being that it's asking us to and naming something specific. And I have in what was maybe 15 items, I've found at least 3 of them where there was something that could very easily have been a match, and yet it didn't count. And that's, to me, tells me there's a lack of quality here. Here's a shovel. there shouldn't a lack of game testing and quality assurance. Congratulations, you acquired the necklace. There's a task list on the left corner. If you've forgotten what you need to do in the current stage, you can always view your task list. Also, there's a hint button in the bottom right when you need help if you get stuck. Alright. So the crow has something in its beak. So if we give the crow the necklace, will he give us something for his beak? Yes, he will. And what is it? A mosaic part. Let's see what's inside your car. There's something useful in this bank. So your car got magically transformed into candy. So we have a hairpin. I'm unable to detach the button with my bare hand. Well, let's try that. So I need some scissors to get the pin back. And then it's odd that this scene is just not the right resolution. And it's this windowed effect. Let's see. There seems to be buttons all over the place. Let's see. I suppose I might be able to give him some drumsticks, but I guess I need to actually give him drumsticks and not improvise. Closed with 2 symbols. This is gonna seem to be a smaller area. He wants more wood. And this little sparkle's just gonna be there forever. And these hidden object games typically aren't very long. The door is locked with a trickery lock. You need to move all the parts to a proper place. Yellow snowman, red Santa, and green nutcracker. You can move the columns and horizontally or vertically by dragging them, so I imagine they're gonna spin around like this. Okay, good enough to figure out. You know, you see some people try to make video games and show that they really don't have the skill for it. And then you see something like this, where, sure, I would agree that this is not major effort, but it seems like whatever code samples are in this engine, whatever default example is shown to programmers that make games like this, it's actually very helpful and makes sense, because this works. This isn't, while maybe in the logics of it there are some hidden objects that are mislabeled, there's some medium to minor mistakes, you don't see crashes, you don't see cheap asset flips from a Unity store in this. And see, we got the achievement really quickly. Let's see, can we do things on things? No. Apparently we can't. However, yes, this is not going to be too long. I wouldn't be surprised if there's only 4 or 5 scenes in this whole game. That being said, they always do kind of seem like they're a little bit longer. Oh my dear, it's a mistake that he has turned your car into candy, but don't worry, we can fix it, but we need your help. My darling, I've lost my glasses somewhere around here. Could you please help me find my glasses? And apparently everything is covered with syrup. Some water is needed to scrape it away. And we'll take sponge and this little kitten. Drawer's locked. Let's see if we can unlock that drawer. Nope. This game seems pretty cute, but I've also seen in some of these point-and-click adventure games, they take stories and kind of subvert them. They go in odd ways that often don't make any sense. Alright, so nutcracker there. And what was in it? Tiny little drums. Sponge. Domestic spider. So I'll immediately try to stab it because why not? And button, we need to find 3 buttons. We've already found all 3 of them. We don't know why we need to find all 3 of them, but we need to find all 3 of them. Here's a door that won't open until we open that. It's almost like a pure stream of consciousness way to design a video game. Like, we really don't care about like the creators of this game really just want to make a game, and they really don't know how to make a story. But so it does have this kind of student project feel to something like these. I always feel like that's the approach to look at some of these. But then there's also this is also sold as a final product, so I guess I need to be a little bit more critical of them. It's hard to be critical of them though, honestly. These games over-deliver on what they promise. They usually do, at least. Yeah. And in general, I like them. I think maybe they're a little bit expensive considering I would push them into a cell phone style game. Like, if there was just ads popping up right now at the top and this was free, I wouldn't be surprised, and probably would even prefer that style of monetization for the creator over actually paying for this, even if I only paid 50 cents for it, which is probably about right. Let's see, this time we need a tobacco pipe, a mouse, a gnome, a pear, an acorn, a ring, a fish, a scissors, a clover? Clover. I don't know what a clover is. Thimble, maple leaf, and spider. And in total that's 12 items. So here's a gnome. Here's a maple leaf. Is this a 4-leaf clover? That's what it meant. Okay. We need a thimble. That's what this is. That is also a problem because it lists what the things are. I think it would be nice if there was a slight hover definition, or perhaps a picture even of a different version of the thing you're looking for. Because if somebody doesn't know what an acorn looks like, if they just kind of know that it's a nut, they could be thinking that this is it, or maybe they would think that the tip of this pipe is it, or maybe they would just be so overwhelmed that they wouldn't even know. Or if somebody didn't know what a pear looks like, are you 100% certain that's it? I suppose since there's no real penalty for misclicking, you can always, if in desperate needs, You could always randomly click on things or just ask for a hint. Here's a spider. Here's some scissors. Here's an acorn. And these are certainly easy for... See, here we go. This looks like a ring. This looks like a ring. We're looking for a ring. Does anything else on the screen look sort of like a ring? Well, you could think that these were rings, but I imagine that's just sewing thread. So what is this then? Is this a sewing bobbin or something? Here's the tobacco pipe. I don't know why they need to say tobacco pipe. That's an odd choice, again, showing that this wasn't originally an English game written by native English speakers. You wouldn't make the decision to say tobacco pipe and then take the four-leaf clover. You would say four-leaf clover and just go pipe. We're looking for a fish and a mouse. Here's a mouse. And here's a fish. Now, and sometimes when you do hidden object games, you'll find an item after you pick up those, find everything else, but it will show it in an animated kind of cutscene. Here, they've gone a little lazy with it. Also, we've collected quite a bit. Some of these, I think, are going to take us a little while to get to, but like we're already on the second row. So we give her the glasses and we talk to her. Help me, dear. A little kid wishes that the birds don't freeze in the winter, and I have to make sweaters for them. Bring me 3 rolls of yarn, please. Blue, yellow, and red. Knitting needles, webbling, the 3 buttons, and lace. Congratulations, you get the drawer key. So there's a lot of stuff we're gonna have to get. Now we have birdseed. So I have to give the kitten something he wants. And I actually don't believe I have anything more I can do here. We can do this and put this here, but that won't open the thing yet. We can give the birdseed to this guy and he won't do anything. We can come over here and give him the drum. And that gives us a key. Small clockwork key. We saw a clockwork item down here, so we'll use that. A lot of wandering around and trying to find the objects that are needed. I imagine that's the point here, is to try to make this game a little bit longer, but for anybody with a decent, another achievement as tamer, you tame the cat. In-game special achievements, I don't know, I'm 50-50 on that. Honestly, sometimes I would prefer that achievements not exist. They're usually a huge waste of time. But other times, if you're gonna make the effort to make them, it should be personalized and special. So there's a couple of things there. Unless I'm supposed to give a Santa hat to this guy. You know, the game has taken an odd twist now. Like, we're kind of more just left on our own effort. What if we grind up the birdseed? Nope. Yeah, we kind of are just in the middle of nowhere. Oh, there's a whole nother section of things to find. Okay. Like, I was a little confused there. I was thinking, wait a minute, now what do I do? You were leading me by the nose, making this feel very much like a simplistic, easy game for younger players, and then you just let go of my hand, effectively, and let me be lost in them all. Let's see, we're looking for an envelope, Christmas ball, letter N, hammer, Santa, duckling, lollipop, coin, glasses, deer, matches, and Rowan berries. I have no idea what Rowan berries are, but I bet it is something like mistletoe. There. Yeah, and we already got the letter in, so the game is repeating. This is a 2016 game, which is worth pointing out, and it is one of 4 games on Steam by this developer. So, while these hidden object games do seem very similar, and I do believe that there is actually very few companies that make them, I would argue that this company in particular is rather new at it. And they're not doing as well as the other games, and even the other games inherently weren't great. Santa's right there. And I don't know if I can really compare this game to like an old school LucasArts point and click adventure game. It has some elements of that, but it has that hidden object focus that just wasn't there in the old days. If you were pixel hunting, here's the hammer. If you were pixel hunting in a point and click adventure game, you're having a bad time. Here, you're actually, that's part of the game. You're encouraged to do that. And it's not pixel hunting per se, because the items you're looking for are much bigger and usually pretty easy to find. These games don't have much of a replay value, but I don't know if I can really make the argument that replay value should be considered very much these days. As a YouTube video game critic, the odds that I replay any game in any reasonable amount of time is almost zero. Like, maybe I'll replay a game 5-10 years down the road, but highly unlikely I would play a game to finish and then start playing it again. And I'm not sure that's even the case for, here's the deer, for regular players, because there's so many options, so many free games out there. Like, here's the glasses. Still looking for that lollipop and matches. Matches right here. And a Christmas ball, which I suppose is not this ornament, but something else. And that's ball, B-A-L-L, not bell. There's a bell here, and a bell here. Oh, apparently that's a Christmas ball. Wow, the translation here is awful. And here's the lollipop. Yeah, this game really suffers for not being correctly translated. Like, you need that help. And if that help isn't there, a sweet fly made of jelly or jam. I assume a fly that. And so we still need to find some water to get the sponge wet to clean off the syrup in 2 places. It seems like when you finish one area, another area lights up. How are we on the menu? Let's see. Options. I guess everything just kind of auto-saves. But in all honesty, I bet there's not too much to this game. We're really breezing through it. This is a nice effect. Just swoop up like that. Well, we've gone 30 minutes, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.